Well, good evening, everyone. I got to adjust this a little bit. Michael Soothing here. Thought we would just do a relaxing read of some Seattle newspapers. I was there recently, away from my home on the Oregon coast. And, I just thought I would revert to this for one time, so I could get away from those annoying Flat Earth videos. I'm not going to do any more of those for quite some time, if ever, because each time I interact with those folks, I feel my brain shrink, and it causes a headache. My IQ drops about 50 or 60 points just dialoguing with them. So I'm not going to discuss any more Flat Earth in this video. Not one peep about Flat Earth. Instead, we're going to do this. Not one word about Flat Earth going forward from this point forward, okay? So, did you notice that the Flat Earthers, here's a rendition of an artist's conception, or maybe they think this is an actual photo more accurate than the photos we take of the world from space. See how it's depicted there? You have to have some mass below there so that you don't fall out if you drill, like a mine hole or something. In a mine, you wouldn't want to fall out the bottom, right? So, anyway, it occurred to me when I saw this that this is something that sprung up because of YouTube, something called the Flat Earth Movement. See? Flat Earth Movement. And there's my little artist depiction of it. And it occurred to me that if I invert this, it's virtually, the Flat Earth Movement is virtually indistinguishable from, when you turn it upside down, a bowel movement. Okay? So, just keep this in mind. Flat Earth Movement, bowel movement. That's all I'm going to say about that today, because we have to move on now. After a little sip of water. My microphone's in a weird spot, so if it sounds different today, that's why. I don't have it on a tripod, it's just sitting in a soft spot. Alright, let's see what articles we have here. This paper's about a week old, but it's a different area, so I find it interesting what they report on. Up in Seattle, shock and triage as Native Americans are left stranded by days of flooding. There's some on horses. Pine Ridge, South Dakota. Emergency rations are distributed by horse, boat, and helicopter. Ella, red cloud horse, yellow horse. Red cloud, yellow horse. Marooned for days by a blizzard. And then a flood. Needed to get out. It was snowing even last week in California. In just up by Mount Shasta, but much lower, Dunsmuir area. Shockingly. But anyway, supplies at her house were running low. Her long driveway was blocked by mountains of mud, impassable even by tractor. So Red Cloud Yellow Horse set off toward the road on foot. She fell repeatedly and almost was swept away by a creek and got stuck in the mud. Finally, she made it to the half-mile to the highway. I knew I needed to get to the Anyway, it's a Sioux tribe, tribal lands, and they had a lot of difficulty there with heavy snows this year, which turned into mud. So that was the first article here. I thought, oh, here it shows what it looks like up there. So we can all be thankful we don't live in an area, if we don't, where it gets all flooded from time to time. Few people beyond the reservation know or care about its plight. I have not been to South Dakota since I was young, but I'd like to go there and check it out and do a long road trip on Route 66, then go up the spine of the Rockies and things like that. Maybe we'll do, look at this ad. Hemp gummies are shown to relieve discomfort. Hemp gummies. You know, if you had invested early in the legalized marijuana business, you would be worth a lot of money today. I myself did not do so because, there's a lot of big studies that it causes psychosis, especially in young males. Us males get psychotic more easily, you know. Anyway, I didn't want to profit from an industry like that. But on this hemp thing, I decided a good compromise would be to invest in CBD oil, cannabis oil made from hemp. You don't get high from it, but you get all the medical benefits of pain relief and glaucoma relief and things like that. So there's a couple of companies that specialize in that. The one I invested in is called Charlotte's Web. What is the symbol for it? It's something like CWBHF, I think, on the exchange. It's up about 50% since I bought it a few months ago. It's doing very well. But anyway, that's an aside. Do your own research, as those who shall not be named like to say. Look at this in the business section. Loss of MySpace uploads are a reminder of the web's risk. Let's take a peek. Do you remember MySpace? This is a lot of... I can't juggle this whole paper. It's too difficult. There's the headline. Loss of MySpace uploads. I remember when that was the social media darling for everyone, before Facebook and other things, Twitter took over, and Instagram and Snapchat. What does it say? The most surprising thing people have learned about MySpace last week is that it still exists. Does it really? But the old social network's accidental purge of 12 years worth of its users' music uploads, an estimated 50 million songs, was probably a close second. The tremendous loss of digital artifacts, such as Flickr photo annihilation, the Tumblr porn purge, Tumblr had the Google Plus disintegration, highlights the impermanence of the web and the ease with which files and posts, which help define the internet culture and history, can be so readily discarded. So maybe the stuff's not there forever the way you think it is. I have a plan and a strategy. If I like, for example, certain videos on YouTube, music videos, I like a lot of music videos, I record them so they can never steal them back away from me. I'm still not trusting of the cloud. Besides, as we all know, I've looked at clouds from both sides, and sometimes they win and sometimes they lose. Both sides now, I should have said. Anyway, what else does it say? Flickr did an update and wiped out anyone's pictures beyond the 1,000 threshold. There's been bans, purges, deletions. I promised not to talk about that which shall not be named, the Flat Earth movement. But as I think about, for one moment, the absurdity of their mindset, they believe that all the governments of the world, all the scientists, all the educators, all the aerospace workers such as myself, all airlines and airline employees, etc., etc. In other words, everyone with an education in the entire planet, in every country, is all in on this massive conspiracy to make you think we live on a globe. And of course, they must spend trillions of dollars to maintain this illusion. For what reason, I don't know. But isn't it strange that all those clever folks who are doing this conspiracy involving everyone who has a brain forgot about YouTube and allowed Flat Earth videos to be posted there without being censored and deleted? There are several, I think 100,000 videos now about it. All those clever folks, and they forgot to purge YouTube. I only brought it up because that article shows the web is not necessarily permanent. So all you mental patients out there who believe in Flat Earth, better record all your favorite Flat Earth videos now before they disappear by the conspirators, okay, at the hand of. What else do we have? What type of weapons can felons possess? I don't know. Hopefully no kind. Oh, look. Well, this is interesting. I've got to see this. The tall ships Lady Washington and Hawaiian Chieftain will be in Coos Bay on May 1st through 5th. Look at those. They'll come to Coos Bay, Oregon. I want to go see them. What does it say about it? Straight from the Caribbean, 2 tall ships are sailing into Coos Bay. One of them was in Pirates of the Caribbean, and that would have been which one? The Lady Washington. It also appeared in Star Trek Generations. Shh, don't tell the flat earthers that there's stars in a universe out there. They don't believe it. They think it's just little twinkling lights pasted on a dome, okay? Because they're so smart and clever and know all the things the rest of us don't. Anyway, did I mention Flat Earth again? I can't believe I keep slipping up. Okay. I must not have taken my vitamin B12 today. I've got to mention it to Joanne. So, I'm still recovering from that April Fool's video. Just saying the things that I had to say and make it sound believable caused almost permanent brain damage, but it's recovering now. All right, so anyway, the ships will dock at City Dock, Anderson Avenue, and Bayshore Drive. They will offer educational programs. Flat earthers, don't go. Okay, education is anathema to you. It's like sunlight to a vampire. So don't indulge in any education, whatever you do. Vessel tours, I want to go on one of those. I want to go on one of those ships. And sailing trips even, I'm sure for a hefty fee. Okay, this must have been a slow news day. Bridge in Deerhorn to be closed for repairs. See there? A bridge. I really like these bridges that go over all the rivers in Washington and Oregon. I like their architecture. Art Deco, most of them. Let's see what else is happening. Facebook charged with housing discrimination by HUD officials. I didn't know Facebook was in the rental property business. Are they? Strange. It says Facebook. See there? Charged with discrimination. I know you thought I was making that up. The federal government charged Facebook with high-tech housing discrimination for allowing landlords and real estate brokers to exclude groups from seeing ads for houses and apartments. This sounds mighty strange. This could cost the social network millions of dollars in penalties. But they strike at the heart of Facebook's business model, its ability to deliver ads with surgical precision to certain groups and not others. Okay, this is like if you go on Amazon and you search for something like Flat Earth Globe, right? Then the next day, if you get on Facebook, there'll be little ads on the side that will show you, Flat Earth books and Flat Earth, stuff you can buy. You know how it works. It's sort of creepy that they're monitoring what we do all the time and then trying to advertise to us. So in this case, they weren't advertising estates in Beverly Hills that cost millions of dollars to people that were browsing the internet in the Bronx, all right, in New York. And so that's called discrimination, worth millions of dollars in penalties, also known as a scam, okay, by the government. But anyway, never mind all that. It's sort of like all the ads you see on TV with lawyers telling you about class action lawsuits, Were you ever scalded by coffee at McDonald's, Burger King, or Wendy's? Call our hotline today and participate in the class action lawsuit for millions of dollars, out of which we're going to give you, when we win, a certificate good for 2 free coffees at McDonald's while we keep all the millions in legal fees, okay? That's how class action suits work. Attorneys get all the money and you get zero. Okay, anyway. This is very colorful. Let's see what it's about. I like all that. Paint job on that truck. Benefit to travel down the road. Following a Tom Petty hit, I was watching a video of the Traveling Wilburys, and it was one of my favorites. What's the name of it? They're on a train, and it's called, they're going down the line, end of the line, that's it. Anyway, I realized all the guys in it are dead now. That was kind of depressing. Tom Petty and George Harrison and who's the guy that did all the crooning? I'll remember his name. It will come to me. Anyway, who was also in that band. Anyway, it says, following a Tom Petty hit, the Grateful Dead makes another ubiquitous appearance on Eugene's listener-supported public radio. Hey, that's Shaggy. Shaggy refers to Steve Brown, also known as Shaggy Rolling Stone, an itinerant music lover connected to the Oregon Country Fair and Saturday Market, who washed up on the shores of the Willamette River in 1992 after spending his younger years bounding between Grateful Dead tours and rainbow gatherings and exploring the world. Here's Shaggy, I guess, that's him, with a colorful truck. Aren't you kind of glad that there's still some psychedelic hippies hanging around from the 70s? It gives you this sort of warm sense of nostalgia when it was still all peace and love, instead of wrath and dissension that we have today. No chemicals needed to trip with Acid Mother's Temple. That's the name of the band? Acid shows how out of touch I am. There they are. Acid Mother's Temple. I think I'm going to skip that concert because I'm just not sure that's all that for me. Oh look, the Dear Abby column, one of your favorites and mine. Dear Abby, my husband decided to become a flat earther after living a life of no accomplishment and no education. He decided to make matters worse, and now he's become completely insane. I blame the public educational system, but what can... Oh wait, that's not what's written there. I got confused. I don't see the page so well these days. I need my glasses. Okay, let's try again. Dear Abby, my husband recently broke his eyeglasses because... This is really starting this way? Okay. Because they... This requires a sip of water. It's giving me throat soreness. Water sounds. By the... Uh-oh. The microphone is covered by newspaper. You wouldn't be hearing anything. Hopefully you caught a little bit of it anyway. My husband broke his eyeglass. Because they couldn't be repaired locally, he sent them by mail to a company that had been referred to him. They fixed his glasses and returned them. A short time later, he received an email from the company's salesperson requesting a tip. What? Requesting a tip. My husband replied, I would give that person a tip, all right? The tip would be this. Don't become a flat earther, okay? The tip, my husband replied, can you please send me a receipt? I need it for my records. She replied, how much will you tip me? He said, is the only way I can get a receipt for my repairs if I tip you? She replied, yes, you can give me $5. I'm starting to think this is made up. But anyway, I have never heard of an online company soliciting tips before, let alone refusing to send a receipt unless one is given. How would you respond to this? Giving a receipt is not the important thing here. It's the solicitation that dumbfounds me. That woman was soliciting. Dear dumbfounded, every time I think I have heard everything, a letter like yours crosses my desk. Yeah, that's because some guy like me made this up and sent it to Dear Abby. Okay, the word for what that salesperson is attempting is extortion. Extortion? Okay, no, more like a simple con. Okay, your extortion is when you're blackmailing someone. Your husband should contact the owner of the company and tell them the name of the employee who is trying to extort money. All this for $5? Man, all those email exchanges. I think the woman should have asked for 20, don't you? Okay, anyway, let's move on. She rambles on a while. Dear Abby, ever since my son was a baby, he's almost 6 now. Oh, then he's smarter than a flat earther already. He's almost 6 now. My husband and I have printed photograph invitations for his birthday parties. We sent the invitations to everyone, including those who live too far away to attend, so everyone could have a current picture of him. Oh, because everyone was just dying to have a photo of their 6-year-old to hang on the wall, right? After reading many of your archives, I realize this may be perceived as a bid for gifts, and I no longer wish to do it. I would still like to send out a picture card of some sort that no one would want. Oh wait, didn't say that. Any ideas on how to do it without making anyone think we want gifts? Signed, don't want to make waves. Dear Waves, a way to do that would be to send them during the holidays. When your friends and relatives are sending out cards to friends and acquaintances. Wouldn't that be kind of obvious to everyone but a flat earther? Okay, anyway. Dear Abby, I work the newspaper Crossword Puzzle every day. I came across an answer recently. There must be nothing going on in the area of domestic difficulties these days, if this is the letters that Dear Abby is running. Anyway, it was an abbreviation for a bowling lane. The answer was AMF. I can think of other things that AMF might stand for, but I won't mention it on my G-rated YouTube channel. Anyway, I'm asking you what it stands for because I cannot get a straight answer. What is so secretive about this logo? Please help. Stumped in Texas. Dear Stumped, the clue may have been misleading. AMF is a brand. It stands for America Machine and Foundry. I'm sure Dear Abby knew this right off the top of her head, right? Look, they have Crossword Puzzle here. Maybe I should work. That gives me an idea. My next video, I'm going to work on the Crossword Puzzle with you. I'm not so good at them, even though most linguistic type games I can do well. But they always ask for proper names of things. And I don't have a good memory for names, proper names. because I'm too aspy. And so, anyway, this is an even more local kind of paper here. When we were in Seattle, we were on Bainbridge Island, and there they have the Kitsap Sun. I always like a small local paper. They seem more interesting to me for some reason. I like to see what kind of articles they run. Honoring fallen shipmate. Somebody hit their head on a propeller. That doesn't seem like a very upbeat story, but they're putting a wreath into the water. You think I'm making that up, so I'll just show you the headline. Kitsap. No. Don't want to talk about sex offenders. And I don't want to talk about politics. Man fathers a child during separation. It's more Dear Abby columns. But I don't want to talk about it, because I did so much already. Well, we'll do one, okay? Dear Abby, my husband and I separated last year and reconciled several months later. When we decided to get back together, he broke it off with his girlfriend. A month later, she contacted him to inform him she's pregnant with his child. She is due in a few months. I feel an emotional scam alert, red flag popping up. Although her husband is still a sleaze, probably. Anyway, my husband and I disagree about how things should be handled when the child arrives. She says I'm not allowed to come to the hospital with him and meet the baby. I say going without me is absurd, and any child that belongs to my husband is part of my life too. That's actually a pretty healthy and unusual outlook. However, he says she is in charge of the situation. I'm worried that when the baby is born, I'll be at home alone with a broken heart. Where should I draw the line with my husband? This all could be a ruse for the guy to go off and visit the girlfriend for extended lengths of time. I'm not sure I buy the story at all. Dear worried wife, forgive me if this seems cynical. You're forgiven, dear Abby. But is your husband absolutely sure that baby is his? I would say, are you absolutely sure there is such a thing as a baby coming? Because I'm more cynical than Abby. And if it is, to what extent does he plan to be involved in the child's life? If he participates in raising him or her, then you are right. His child will become a part of your life. If he decides to do no more than write support checks, or pretend to be writing support checks, the impact on you will be much less. Frankly, I don't blame you for feeling worried. If a paternity test has not proved he's the father of that baby, he should discuss with a lawyer to insist there be one. Okay. Anyway, dear Abby. AccuWeather. Rainy every day from now on. That's the forecast for the Northwest most of the time. Oh, I had a little bit of USA Today left over from left over from the hotel. You know how you get the free paper? When we were staying up there on Bainbridge Island. Lack of suits scuttles plans for the spacewalk. See there? Lack of suits scuttles plans for the spacewalk. What was intended to be a historic occasion for NASA and humankind will no longer be due to the lack of spacesuits aboard the International Space Station. The first all-female spacewalk scheduled to take place will now be conducted by a man and a woman. NASA astronauts Nick Hague and Christina Koch. Originally, it would have been conducted by 2 female astronauts, some name or other, I can't. But there's only one space suit that fits both female astronauts. Is it too big or too small? You'd think they would have thought of this in advance. I thought NASA was faking all this ISS stuff anyway. International Space. So can't they just fake the space? Because they're doing it in a studio anyway, right? According to our Flat Earth mentally deranged friends. Oh, I know. They're so clever that they have to plant stories like this to drill down a level, to make it more believable, that they have to pretend they have problems from time to time that they can't solve. All right. El Chapo defense lawyers seek a new trial, citing jury misconduct. El Chapo's that big Mexican drug kingpin who got caught and extradited. What kind of jury misconduct? They repeatedly disregarded instructions to avoid the blizzard of media coverage before convicting Guzman of murder conspiracy and drug trafficking. Yeah, right. Whatever. U.S. targets. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing that even has a hint of politics will be found in my video. Save now on home security. Friends pull away after mom sobers up. How many Dear Abbeys can you have in one paper? I only had one Kitsap Sun, but it's got 2 Dear Abby columns. How is that possible? Oh, wait. This is a section from USA Today. I'll read just one more Dear Abby, and then we'll wrap things up. Here is the friends pull away after mom sobers up. See? So they preferred her drunk, I guess. Let's see what it says. I am a single mother of 2 young children. I decided to have gastric bypass surgery several years ago. 9 months later, I began drinking alcohol. The drinking became progressively heavier, and within a few months I was a full-blown alcoholic. That quick, eh? For most of us it takes years. Okay, I'm just kidding. You know how often I drink alcohol? I have a half a glass of wine about once a month, which is not enough. I should be... Listen to that rain. Can you hear it? Yeah, that's the northwest coast, okay? Every day now for the last 6 months. Anyway, but I'm not complaining. I like it better than drought. Anyway, what does she say? Oh, she became an alcoholic. It's as if I gave up binge eating for binge drinking. That's what often happens with people who have one addiction. They stop, but then like a balloon that gets squeezed, it pops up somewhere else, right? Like those long, skinny balloons. Okay, anyway, it's been a year of struggle to stop with the help of my friends and family who pushed me to seek inpatient treatment. I am now almost 3 months sober, but with sobriety, I have lost a lot of the kindness from my support system. Despite my many apologies, some have told me of their disgust for me, and others have cut ties to me completely. I believe their efforts to encourage me to seek help were driven by the fact that I was a drunk mom. They wanted help for me so I could be a fit parent. However, now that I am in recovery, they no longer want to be part of my life. The shame is real, and so is the loneliness. This is a pitiful story. I am now at a point where I need to ask, am I justified to feel insulted by their lack of support and happiness for me? No. Okay, anyway. Now that I am healthy and being the best mom I can, or should I accept that I really messed up and be grateful I had help at all? Sober but sad in Iowa. Dear sober but sad, just be glad that you did not become a flat earther, because that's far more foolish than your addictions. Oh wait, that sentence isn't there. Dear sober but sad, it would be healthier to keep your eye on the positive and be grateful for the help you were given. It would also be healthier for you to associate with people that make you feel good about yourself, which may not be your family and current friends. I would say so-called friends, perhaps. In the past, I have advised it's necessary to build a support network or family of choice. Oh, should I read one more? Nah. Oh, this is a girl who is 17 and wants to move in with her 20-year-old boyfriend on her 18th birthday. However, I promised my mother and father I would take care of them. At 18, I want him to find an apartment nearby with the promise I'll move in with him when I'm ready. How can I do that without disappointing him or hurting my parents' feelings? Dear undecided, stop hiding this man from your parents, because what you're doing is immature and dishonest. What? A 17-year-old being immature and dishonest? Why, I know 40-year-old flat earthers who are far more immature and dishonest, okay? So, this is getting old, and it's not even funny. Leave the comedy to the professionals, I say. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. I hope that this video was somewhat relaxing. It is for me. I'm ready to go take a nap. Maybe have half a glass of Cabernet first, because I reminded myself a month has gone by. Anyway, until next time, I'm getting your requests. I will do them all eventually, or some of them, I should say, not all. that would be hundreds of different types. And some of you hate gum chewing, others are begging for gum chewing. I don't know. So I'll just give a warning on each one. So no more videos about the insanity which shall not be named. You know the one I mean. No more about this, which is really this. Okay? Inverted. Instead, we'll move on to something else next time. Not sure what. But until then, don't ASMR and drive. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.